Welcome to Bearcat Update. We are back for another semester of sports here on KNWT. I'm your new host, Jenny James. We've got all of the Northwest basketball highlights from this weekend, but first we kick things off with a special look at the former Northwest football coach and current athletic director, Mel Tjeerdsma.
Becoming the Northwest head football coach in 1994, Mel Tjeerdsma has led the team to tremendous success with 3 national championships and 12 conference championships during his time as head coach. Tjeerdsma is one of 3 coaches entering the College Football Hall of Fame at the end of this year.
Well, it's it's an extreme honor and very exciting, very humbling when when you stop and look at the people that are in the College Football Hall of Fame. And I guess for a football player or a football coach, that's the epitome. There's lots of Hall of Fames, but for college football, that's it. What it tells me is that I've been so fortunate to be surrounded by so many good players and so many good coaches my whole career. And it's not just here, but every stop along the way.
Tjeerdsma turned the Northwest Missouri State football program around from starting with an 11-game losing season, followed by conference championships, by bringing in a winning staff and creating new traditions.
We believed that we could win. All of my assistant coaches came from winning programs, so we just felt like all we had to do was have a little time and we would develop a winning program, and that's what we did. I think that we built our program. We said 2 things. We wanted to build our program around high school players, not transfers, and we wanted to redshirt as many as we could.
Tjeerdsma credits the philosophy behind the program and the family atmosphere between the players and the community for the team's accomplishments.
Once we turned the corner, actually in '95 already, and in '96 we won our first conference championship. I think from that point on, our players really bought into the attitude that we're all together, we're here for one purpose, and that's the team.
Taking a step back from the game, Tjeerdsma tells us what being a coach is really all about.
The most memorable thing is just all the players and coaches that I've been associated with, and that's really what to me, that's what coaching's really all about, is building relationships and in our case developing young men, not just as football players, but more importantly, what they're going to do with their lives after they graduate.
With the success Tjeerdsma has brought to the game of football, the College Football Hall of Fame will be gaining one of Northwest's greatest coaches. Reporting for Bearcat Update, I'm Maria Babcock.
Thanks, Maria. This season has been a rough one for the Northwest women's basketball team. The team sits at 1-17 on the year and 0-10 in conference. The ladies have struggled in late game situations, blowing countless fourth-quarter leads. But in a weak MIAA, the team only sits 2 games out of the 12th seed in the conference tournament. With 9 games left, the Bearcats still have a chance of making the tournament. Saturday, the women hosted a mediocre 10-9 Missouri Western team who is also looking to secure a position in the MIAA tournament. We were there to catch all of the action. Northwest started out hot. Jalen Haggard drives left, floats with the right, and it's good. However, Mo West had some skilled players of their own. Here, Dosu Njai puts it in for 2. But Northwest kept it up with a brilliant play by Tanya Meyer, slashing to the basket. The Sig Tall guys were fired up. And again, Jalen Haggard proves that she's on fire tonight with another from the right side. Savannah Lentz off the dribble drive, past Meyer for 2. Griffin's hanging on. With 3 seconds left, Griffin's down by 3, inbounding the ball, and Jai throws up a prayer off the front iron. Northwest picks up its 2nd win of the season and first in conference, taking this one 56-53. Tanya Meyer led the way with 15 points, shooting 6 of 10 from the field with 7 boards. Freshman Jalen Haggard finished the game with 14 points, 2 assists, and shooting 50% from the field. We're going to take a quick break, but stick around. We've got more Northwest basketball to come. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm Jenny James. With the college basketball season in full swing, the Northwest men's team tries to regain the lead in the MIAA. The team has suffered 2 uncharacteristic losses. They sit at 16-2 on the year and 8-2 in conference, half a game behind Washburn for the #1 spot. Saturday afternoon, they squared up against the Griffins from Missouri Western. Coach McCollum leads the team against a weak Mo West this Saturday. Justin Pitts makes his return back from an injury with a strong drive to the hole, drawing the defense in and gets the and one. Nothing can stop him as Pitts crosses right and then left and pulls back from outside the line and knocks down the 3. Pitts didn't miss a shot until 3 minutes left in the first half. Pitts again fakes left and cuts right, crossing up his defender and drives to the lane for another easy bucket at the basket. Pitts again rolls off the screen, fakes right, and pulls up outside the 3-point line and knock another one down. Mo West down after the half presses the Bearcats with a pass to Xavier Kurth, who lobs it to Ryan Hawkins for the dunk. Pitts again with the assist as he drives to the basket, leaving Chrissy Buendow wide open to drain a 3. The Cats run away with this one, winning 94-60. Justin Pitts led the way with 27 points, shooting 82% from the field and finished with 2 assists. Chrissy Buendow finished with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Chris scored his 1,000th career point on Saturday. With that win over Missouri Western, the Cats regained the #1 slot in the MIAA. Now it's time for Coach's Corner. This week we have a very special guest, Ryan Elliott. Ryan, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to talk a little bit about guys basketball. It was good to see Justin Pitts back. We called the game on X106, but yeah, he came back with 27 points. Ryan, what do you think about Pitts being back?
Well, he was able to come back and put up a really good performance. I think Northwest really missed him in the middle of the offense and the defense. They were able to go out against Fort Hays and get a win without him, but you could see that there was some confusion to be had on both sides of the basketball. With Pitts in the game, the offense kind of operated a lot better. It operated through Pitts, and they were able to play the game that they're more comfortable with.
How big of a leader and contributor is Pitts to this team?
I think it's immeasurable. I think a guy like Justin Pitts can take a team from not only just good to great. A guy like Justin Pitts can take a team from bad to great if he needs to, but the team is good enough without him that he takes the team from way up here to all the way up over the top like we saw last season. And a guy like Pitts, I don't think you can put a value on somebody like that on a basketball team.
We've had some seniors step up this year, Xavier Kurth and Chrissy Buendow. Chris getting his 1,000th point yesterday is really exciting. Kind of talk about how those guys have really stepped up this year.
Well, if you start with Endow, he's a guy that he wasn't quite certain where he fit into the offense a couple of years ago, but in the last really year and a half, season and a half, he's taken his role in the offense to a whole new level. He's been able to improve his three-point shooting. He's shooting over 50% on the year now. He's been able to make himself into a threat both outside and inside. He can post up inside. He's an incredible athlete, and he's been a great defender since he started here. So he's really developed his role in the offense a lot more. And then Xavier Kurth is just doing the same thing he's always done. Kurth is an energy guy. He's an intensity guy. He comes out and he brings the excitement. He plays great defense. And I think offensively, he's kind of expanded himself to where he can shoot from the outside if he needs to, but he's always been the guy to pass up his open look to find somebody else with an open look. And he really, without scoring a whole lot, creates a lot of opportunities for everyone else around the offense.
From your perspective, what would you say the rest of conference play is looking like for the guys, especially with a second chance at Southern coming up next month? So what would you say the rest of conference play looks like?
Well, it's certainly not going to be easy. There's 2 games I think that a lot of people look at coming up. You mentioned the game against Missouri Southern at Bearcat Arena on February 17th, and then the weekend prior to that on February 10th, they head to Topeka, Kansas to take on Washburn. Those are kind of the 2 games that a lot of people look at, and the rest of this conference schedule is not going to be easy for Northwest, and they know having 2 losses early that they really can't afford to slip up much more. So especially the 10th and the 17th, those 2 games are going to be incredibly important for this men's team.
Would you say we have a shot at getting back to the Natty again?
There's certainly a chance. I think a lot of it revolves around being able to host the regional. I think that helped a lot, not only for the team, but for the city of Maryville, for the fans. and it helped the team kind of feel that sense of comfort during regional play, something that maybe they hadn't quite had over the couple of years prior. So right now they're sitting on top of the regional standings as projected. The official regional standings aren't out yet, but projected regional standings they're sitting on top of right now and are hosting. So if they can get to host the regional, I think that will help them progress. And once they get to Sioux Falls in the Elite Eight, anything can happen.
How important would you say is having that home field advantage, especially during such a crunch period of the playoffs?
Well, it's incredibly important. I think you look at the whiteout game on Saturday, and there was a crowd of 1,200 plus. The energy was incredible, and this Northwest team feeds off of that energy. They feed off of the momentum that the crowd gives them, and the crowd can have an incredible impact on a game. You've seen at times, like in the loss to Nebraska Kearney, there wasn't much atmosphere. There wasn't a great atmosphere to play in, and I think sometimes a team can play a little tired or a little bogged down in bad atmospheres, but in a great atmosphere, a team can come out and have incredible performances.
Switching over to the girls' side now, they got their first conference win, very exciting for them. What would you say that the girls need to do to keep that momentum going?
I think the number one thing with this women's team is to continue to mature. They're a young team. They're relatively inexperienced. They're just going to have to continue to grow game after game. I think, you look at this team, and it's hard to measure it on wins and losses at this point. You just have to measure it on how much this team's growing, because there's so many young players to kind of move along, especially, and you look at like Jalen Haggard, who's developing into a pretty good point guard and is just a freshman. So a lot more time for her and more time for this team to develop altogether.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Ryan. You can check out more of Ryan's thoughts on Weekend Sports Kickoff on KNWT and X106. We've got Northwest track results coming up next. You're watching Bearcat Update. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm Jenny James. Last week, Northwest Missouri State hosted the annual Special Olympics basketball tournament. Our reporter Hannah Ryan was there and caught up with some of the athletes. Hannah?
Maryville High School Special Olympics athletes competed in the North Region basketball tournament held at Bearcat Arena. Northwest student Madeline Galvez helped coach these athletes throughout the year. She says the competitive team spends all year preparing for this special tournament.
So our players are a bit competitive. They love Special Olympics with their entire being, and getting ready for this tournament is a year-long process for them. Every practice, they talk about the tournament. We have athletes who are like, Coach, remember when I got that, buzzer shot in and I won it for us? And they look forward to getting to relive these moments every single day, and it's awesome.
Special Olympics athlete Junior Tracy says his team prepares just like any other basketball team.
We do layups, we do scrimmage games.
The head coach for the Spoof Hounds, Lauren Graves, is excited for the opportunity her players had to play at Bearcat Arena. She says her players teach her more than she could ever coach them.
I think I've learned much more from them than they've learned from me, but these athletes have a lot to teach us about joy, about friendship, about true sportsmanship. They've taught me about being genuine, non-judgmental, accepting everybody, and truly just about love.
The Hounds had hometown support coming from the stands and were able to make memories that will last these players a lifetime. For Bearcat Update, I'm Hannah Ryan.
Thanks, Hannah. The Northwest track and field team was in action this weekend at the Concordia Classic in Seward, Nebraska. Our track and field insider, Jawan Bush, was there.
Northwest track and field had huge success over the weekend as 2 athletes break the school record.
We had a really solid meet. I think a lot of people we saw the tip of the iceberg. So I think there's a lot of good things that are going to happen in this next month, and we really saw a lot of things start coming together for all of the areas, for our distance runners, for our jumpers, for our throwers, for our sprinters, and it was a really solid meet all around. there's kind of a thing going on in track right now where we kind of have like a that's it moment. And neither one of those athletes got there, but yet they improved their times, and Kevin scoring the HEP obviously enough to get themselves on the list and in good standings, and that's just really tremendous so early.
Kevin Schultz had huge success this weekend as he's break his own indoor heptathlon record.
Right now, currently that puts me 4th in the country right now for the HEP. I also got, it's cool, in the high jump I hit 210, which is a new indoor best and equaled my lifetime best. And that puts me, I think, tied for 9th in the country. So hopefully, if things go well, I could go to nationals in both events.
And Jordan Hammond, who is new to 60-meter hurdles, has broke the school record, and this is on her 5th time running this event.
I ran 8.78, and it was a new school record for the 60 hurdles, and it was a provisional mark as well. I definitely want to hit an automatic mark for the 60 hurdles. That's my goal, going to nationals in the 60 hurdles, especially because it was a new event for me, and I love it, so I'm just going to see where it takes me. I worked really hard my redshirt season for that season, so I was just excited to see what I can do. But this year, I know what I can do, and I just want to take it to the next level.
We're really hoping this next month that people can just start feeling better, and things will connect just a lot easier. Speed will be better, and all around they'll just be more recovered. So we'll be really excited to see what they can really put together in the next couple weeks and the end of the month.
But the Bearcats are just getting started as they are only on their halfway point of the indoor season. For Bearcat Update, I'm Juwan Bush.
Thanks, Juwan. We are going to take one last break, but stick around. We take a deep dive into the Maryville High School wrestling program next. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm Jenny James. The Maryville High School wrestling season is nearing its conclusion with districts beginning February 9th. The season has been filled with many highs and lows. Jake Wright had the opportunity to sit down with the team. Jake?
The Maryville wrestling program is looking to build for the future with first-year head coach Cody Coster.
First year Maryville's been awesome. It's been a roller coaster, with some of the duels. Just being the coach and seeing the guys improve has been just awesome, and it makes your day. We might lose a lot of duels, but we're giving up 6 weight classes, and the guys are giving it their all out there, even if they do lose the match.
With a 33-11 record as a junior, the Spoonfounds are led by 2017 state participant and senior Jackson Sanders.
I've gotten to know some people that I would never think that I would get to know as well as I do right now. It was awesome, I grew up wrestling with Matt Twaddle, and getting to watch him wrestle at state, or wrestling with him at state, was a truly great experience.
Actually, a few guys that I'm expecting to make it through. Jackson Sanders, he's kind of our number one guy. He was a state qualifier last year. He's a senior this year. I have high expectations for him. Same with the other 2 seniors we have. I believe that they can make it through the district tournament and make it to state. And there's a few freshmen that I think they're going to put some stuff together and put on a good show there at districts and have a very good chance to make it to state.
Maryville is looking to finish the season strong as they head into districts. With Bearcat Update, I'm Jake Wright.
Thanks, Jake. The Maryville men's basketball team was in action over the weekend at the Cameron Invitational. The team came into the tournament as the 1 seed. Tuesday, the Hounds blew past Smithville 67-53, led by Eli Dallas's 18-point night. Thursday, Maryville picked up another victory against Bishop LeBlanc, winning 45-43. In the championship game Saturday, the Hounds took home first place, toppling rival Chillicothe 60-47. Tate Oglesby led the way, finishing the game with 26 points. Next week, the Spoonfounds resume MEC play. Tuesday, traveling to St. Joe to take on Bishop LeBlanc. Then on Friday, they host Smithville. With the biggest football game of the year around the corner, fans have varying opinions on how they think the game will play out. Our reporter Nolan Brooks caught up with some fans on campus.
The Super Bowl brings fans to the game for multiple reasons, whether it's commercials, the football, or just a good time. So I caught up with students on campus to hear who will come out on top.
I think the Eagles are going to win because the Patriots have won so many times before, and it's now time for a change.
To be honest, I think the Patriots are going to win, but as bad as I want the Eagles to win because I hate Tom Brady, he's the GOAT. So I bet the Patriots are going to win, but I don't want them to.
For the Super Bowl, I'm really tied up because as a diehard Cowboys fan, I don't want the Eagles to win, but as just a basic NFL fan, I really don't want the Pats to win again. So I'm caught between. My family would kill me if they found out, but I think I'm going to pull for the Eagles on this one just to see the fresher team come in and take a ring home.
No matter the reason you may be watching the Super Bowl, there's always one thing that conflicts with the Super Bowl: the commercials.
I look for the commercials because I love seeing puppies on the TV instead of football players tackling each other.
To be honest, probably the commercials, because I can watch football every day of the year, but these are some high-quality commercials, and they only come around once a year. So I pay more attention to the commercials myself.
I'll be honest, I look forward to the commercials just a little bit more than the game. The game is fun. It's great to see two teams going at it, but you only see those commercials once a year, and everybody puts their all into making those things really funny or really cool and making it a really special night. So I'm looking forward to the commercials.
The commercials are great, but for me, the commercials go a little too long for me. I'm more excited for the game for sure. I'm a sports guy. I like watching sports, and so that'll definitely be a highlight, is just watching the game and relaxing.
Whether it's puppy commercials or just watching Tom Brady be the GOAT, the Super Bowl brings many joys in many different ways. For Bearcat Update, I'm Nolan Brooks.
Thanks, Nolan. Now that's all we have on Bearcat Update, but first let's check out my top 3 things to look out for. Maryville boys basketball travels to Bishop LeBlond on Tuesday for a rematch of last week's 2-point victory. The Northwest men's and women's basketball teams take on Lincoln University, both teams trying to extend some winning streaks. Northwest baseball begins their season Saturday in Fort Smith, Arkansas against Arkansas Fort Smith. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of this semester. You can follow us on Twitter at BearcatUpdate_8, or if you've missed any of the show, you can check it out on YouTube at KNWT8. Thanks for watching and have a great night. Thanks for watching Bearcat Update. You can find all of our old episodes on YouTube over here, or you can watch whatever YouTube tells you to over here.